again. It's a New Star Radio 98.7 FM and Smooth Fuego TV, and I'm joined here with
Bunji Garlin.
Now, Bunji, I know your history from time ago. You're like one of
Right.
the biggest names in soca, but now you're getting that mainstream crossover appeal. So, would you like to tell some of the listeners who may not be familiar with you where you come from?
Well, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, from a music called soca music that comes out of calypso music. For those who don't know what soca music is really, soca music is what dancehall is to reggae, what modern day hip hop is to ancient rap. Basically, it is the branch off of the tree. It is the festival music, of course, that facilitates all the carnivals around the world, that you see all those people getting in costumes and getting crazy too, with the BPMs at about 165 BPMs or 160. That's the tempo, which is relative to, you know, what would be house or techno at the time.
Drum and bass.
Yeah, same speed, same tempo. Yeah, and that is where I come from. That is what I represent. Yes.
Okay, now with your style as well, to me, you're my favorite male soca artist, and the reason I say that, I'm coming off Jamaican descent.
Right.
But your style has got that type of aggressive nature to it. So it's with dancehall, because
Yeah.
I know you've done a couple of dancehall tracks in the past, but you've got that appeal to
Yeah.
you. Do you feel that's helped you cross over in that way?
Yes, it has a lot because when I present what I present, and it has that flavor mix in there, what it travels with is a familiar sound. It sounds like something that you already know, or it sounds like something you're accustomed to, and it sounds like something you could tolerate, which makes it, you know, I would call it like a cheat code for me, you know, because there's no secret that our music, soca music, is I don't want to use the word a difficult music to market, but it has been proven difficult to market over time. Because the way we understand music and the way we understand what we understand in our region is not the way the world understands it. So it's kind of difficult for them to adapt to what we see or hear and the things that we would like to say, you know. That doesn't mean that something is wrong with the music. That doesn't mean that the music is good, is not good, sorry. Because here we are in a region that altogether could amount to over 10 million people. But yet still we tend to want to depend on UK and America to generate record sales, to say that we sell records. But why, you know, what happened to just selling records home in our region amongst 10 million or more people, you know? I think all of us are somewhere at fault and trapped in the web of it. It is only good when it gets big outside first, and then we will say, yeah, we own that, we own this. It shouldn't be so. It should be big home already before it even leaves to go outside. Because when you're tackling the outside, this outside world, this big engine, they look for movement, they look for numbers. It's charts, right? It's like stocks and bonds. And if they don't see numbers passing a certain stage, they're not going to pay attention. If they're not seeing mass movements beyond a certain size, they're not going to pay attention. And the perfect example of that, I always say, is the Latin community when reggaeton took over the place.
Definitely.
That movement was so huge. Anybody who wanted to deny it would have looked foolish. So they had no choice but to roll with it. Right? Here we have Grenada, Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Vincent. All these islands here, right? Jamaica in itself is reggae, right? But the movement is so strong with Jamaica behind the music. There's no denying. But I'm talking about Barbados and all these islands. All these islands have soca artists in them, right? And what is the problem that we have all this movement behind us and can't get the music beyond a certain stage, right? A new artist could just come out in Jamaica today, and by tomorrow he performing in Egypt. There are soca artists in Trinidad that have been performing over 30 years, over 40 years, and never pass customs in London, right? Something's wrong with that. And when I sit and I observe it, I realize there's a lot of factors here. You know, the type of songs, the speed of the songs, even the mix and the quality of the production when it is done to get out there. We have all these things to fix to move on to the next stage. We are at a good place right now, you know, with the attention of a major label putting out a soca album for soca artists. These things don't happen often. We're not sure when it's going to happen again. We have to appreciate the moment, harness the moment, and run with it. You know, this is not one of them moments where album release and everybody wait to go on YouTube to try to download a copy. You go and you purchase a copy, let them see that sales could be made. Let them see the numbers pinging on the charts, and then they will say, hey, this is a new place to invest. Let's move. Same goes for Jamaica too, right? And this is the constant story then of us in the West Indian jungle.
Definitely. Trust me, I understand what you said. I would love to talk to you deep on that. I know we're restricted for time, so I'm going to move on quickly. Now, you got that first mainstream success crossover with Differentology, which to me, I love the song. It's like one of the best songs which come out, but I was thinking, wow, this song is the one which crossed over. And it got you to a point where you was performing on Hot 97 Summer Jam. When I saw that, I was thinking, what? When I saw that, I was like, wow. And everybody, I know, we stood up, we stayed up late because obviously it was early hours here. But you had a bit of trouble there, right?
Yeah, because we had to fly in from another show in Antigua, the same, like the night before we had a show. Promoter couldn't move the date because he had already moved it from an earlier date to that date. And when we got to Trinidad to get the flight, for whatever reason, the government decided to charter the same flight to fly the national football team to Argentina to play a friendly match. Right? So
crazy.
To not even a World Cup qualifying match, a friendly match. So we got delayed in the airport for like 4 hours, and when we reached to JFK, customs was, that line was real long. And then the officer said, well, the flight that came from Trinidad searching everybody, right? And we spent like a next hour and a half in there. And then driving from JFK to New Jersey was just dread traffic because everyone was going to Summer Jam. And the organizers had actually cancelled the performance because I'd missed the time. No fault of mine. And then, divine intervention, they said, all right, we'll put him on, but we'll put him on between Nicki Minaj, 50 Cent, the last two. After Nas and Meek Mills and all that. Boy, this is the test here, the acid test. Went on there, and to hear that 50,000, 75,000 people saying, we're ready for the road. That just put all concerns to rest.
I respect the fact that you knew how important it was for not even just soca music, Caribbean music in general, for you to actually perform then. And it was kind of a blessing in disguise between Nicki Minaj and 50 Cent. Everybody.
And it was a big thing because after Ebro from Hot 97 was saying it was the first time that a soca act was featured like on the bill and for the main stage and everything. Normally they would just bring them on like special guests unannounced, and on side stage, but they brought us to the main stage, and they said with their own lips that they hope this is not the last for soca on a stage like that. We would hope as well, but what I would really like to see is a soca event at that size. You don't necessarily have to be between hip hop and this and that. They build their own environment. We need to build our own environment too.
Do you think it's something that could happen in the future?
Yeah, it will eventually happen. It will eventually, because when people realize, hopefully this momentum continues. And when I say momentum, I'm not talking about my momentum. The momentum of what is happening with Caribbean music right now.
A lot
of good things is happening for the whole region right now.
Even with you with general collaborations, I've seen the Just Now collaboration. There's other people such as Blacks with Lego. When I heard that, I was like, And I'm feeling the way how they're mixing it to a kind of commercial crowd, but it hasn't even been changed that much, really. So it just shows how soca, it's got that aspect to be a mainstream type of music, but it just needs that.
I think we're now discovering it, or rediscovering it, because we certain times we would hit it and didn't realize what we would hit. Like the biggest soca song to date, Arrow Hot Hot Hot. Right? And then you had Who Let the Dogs Out and Follow the Leader, and all these tracks coming down. But it was just too far between successes. But we had them, so it means that we have the potential there to always have it. So I think now we really tap into a new vein that, hey, we have a new sound here that people could relate to. So now is the moment to milk it.
You know, I could debate with you all day, but we have to get to business. We have to talk about the latest single, which is a single I've been playing for feels like a couple of years now. Trust me, I'm still banging out. It's Truck on the Road, but not just Truck on the Road. I'm there, I'm searching my emails and I see Truck on the Road, ASAP Ferg. I was thinking, And I listened to this remix, I was like, yes. Now, how did that collaboration go? Because I know ASAP Ferg loves his Caribbean music as well.
Well, you know, his roots is Trinidadian. His granddad is Trinidadian.
I thought so.
And then he was in Trinidad with us on the road for Carnival.
Explains the Shabba Ranks thing and everything like that.
Yeah. He was there with us on the road and Cardinal official, everybody. All of us was out there together. The whole squad. And then he sent, like 3 days after, he sent me a project for him to do. And I did it and sent it back. And then when I got back my mix, the remix from Doc and Jess from Toronto, the trap mix, the first person who went to my mind, I was like, Ferg is the perfect person for this. So I sent it off for him because, you know, he had asked me about it before. And he had asked me for the Carnival Tabanca TV track. Yeah. So that he could do like a freestyle on, and he did it. And all that helped just put everything together. You know, we have a special performance coming up.
Okay.
Both of us actually on the 25th of August. I cannot say where as yet, but the announcement will be out soon.
August is it what I think it is?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say right now, but right. Good.
See? Okay, I need to make sure I'm there. But anyway, thank you for this interview. I'm going to ask you one last question. We have a lot of up-and-coming singers, songwriters and producers. What advice could you give them based on the things you've experienced?
Well, learn your craft. Understand your craft. Believe in your craft. Be one with your craft. Do not be ashamed of your craft, and do not have fear when you go out to present your craft. Because people feed on energy, and the moment they see that you're not sure about what you're doing, they're going to respond in kind, and the response ain't going to be too nice. You know, and always give God thanks for your talent and your gifts, because we didn't give ourselves talents and gifts, right? So we have to give thanks for it, and don't play around with it, and learn your history too. Learn the history of your history, because you're going to go somewhere around the world and someone is going to ask you something pertaining to your history, and you may not be able to understand it, or to be able to, sorry, not to understand, to reply to it, and it's going to be very embarrassing.
Okay, that has been Bunji Garlin, New Star Radio 98.7 FM, Smooth Fuego TV. Would you like to tell them where they can keep up to date with you, all your different social networks?
Yeah.
Introduce the remix of Truck on the Road, and we'll go straight into it.
Well, before we introduce the remix, follow me on all the social, Twitter, Instagram, same name, Bunji Garlin, BUNJIGARLIN, one word. And of course, right now we present to you the remix Truck on the Road featuring ASAP Ferg.